Hey guys, it's Anne and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys 3 simple ways that you can elevate your own wedding invitations using your Cricut. If you follow me on TikTok or Instagram, then you may have found out that I got engaged earlier this year. So we finally have our date and we secured our venue so I can finally have some fun and make my own wedding invitations. Ryan and I decided to have a destination wedding in Cancun, Mexico, so we're going to have a lot of fun with these designs. I'm kind of taking this week to just try different things that I've had saved. And I've had my Cricut for years, so I already knew I was going to use it because it's definitely a great tool for us DIY brides out there. We all know that weddings can be pretty expensive, and even though you might not want to DIY your entire wedding, you could definitely save some money by doing some things on your own. Whether you want to do your save the dates, your wedding invitations, your bridesmaid or groomsmen proposal boxes, or I've even seen people do napkins, welcome signs, seating charts. You can personalize goodies for your bachelor or bachelorette party. I'm trying to think of more because seriously, there are so many things that you can do. Really, the possibilities are endless. If you have a maker, you can make like little drink signs. Now, since we are having a destination wedding, there's only so much that I can do over here, and then to bring over there, I'm trying not to do too many big things, but I knew for a fact that I wanted to do my wedding invitation. So we're gonna try out a few different things, and hopefully this inspires you to do something for your own wedding.
So for my first tip, we are going to try a fancy border. Since we're having our wedding in Mexico, I thought it would be fun to pull some inspiration from their papel picado. I think that the design is so cute and it also mimics lace, so perfect for a wedding. Now the design on the card itself is actually extremely simple, but I love how this technique immediately elevates the design and makes it so much more intricate. I just used some simple white cardstock, but you could use like a shimmery cardstock or even pull in some of your wedding colors. Now just remember that when you're removing your card, you want to flip your mat over and bend your mat away from the card so that you can ensure that it is nice and flat. Now this by itself already does so much for your invitations, but for tip number 2, maybe you want to try a decorative sleeve. There are so many cute templates on the Cricut design space. I really liked this one, so I thought I would give it a try. And it's already perfectly sized for a standard 5x7 card, so I didn't have to do any adjusting. I used this sage cardstock because it is one of our main wedding colors. And so maybe you don't want to fiddle around with your actual invitation itself, but this could add another layer and some dimension, as well as pull in some of your colors like I did here. The template also included some score lines so that you can make some nice clean folds. And then I used a sheer ribbon to keep it nice and closed. I made sure to put a paper inside just so that the hot glue doesn't interrupt our nice and pretty invitation. I closed it up and then I even added a pearl in the middle, and I think it is just so adorable. And for my third tip, maybe you want to play around with some fun patterns to put inside your envelope. I just went ahead and used the same paper that I used for the decorative sleeve, but you can obviously use this technique with some pre-made envelopes as well. But the star of the show is this tropical leaf pattern paper that I found that already goes so well with our sage colors. I just made sure that when I was in the Cricut design space, I used the envelope template and I sliced it so that I could have just the part that shows the top flap and the back of the inside, if that makes sense. I also made sure to offset the outline of the cut just so that it could sit nicely inside, so that there's a slight border because we don't want it to touch edge to edge or else you'll have some difficulty folding it. Then you just want to glue that on. I made sure to start at the fold before I glued the rest of it, and I folded it down because we just want to make sure that it folds nicely, okay? And then once you have it placed nicely, give it a little bit of time to dry and then you can glue the rest of it down. This may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I think it is just such a fun way to add some pattern to an otherwise normal invitation. Lastly, I just used some double-sided tape to close the flaps down, and then you could obviously use another piece of double-sided tape at the end once you are ready to seal your invitation. So whether you try out this fun envelope or a fancy invitation design, or even try out a decorative sleeve, you can easily elevate a very simple design just by using your Cricut machine. All it takes is a little bit of patience and a little bit of creativity.
And that's it. Whether you guys decide to use one out of these 3 tips or you try all of them together, I hope I was able to inspire you to create your own wedding invitations. And thank you so much, Cricut, for sponsoring this video again. I use my Cricut all the time. It is truly my best friend whenever I have any of my special events. And if you want to see more DIY content from me, make sure you follow me on my other social media channels. I really hope you guys liked today's DIY. Please subscribe if you haven't already because we want you here for a long time and not just a good time, okay? Okay, honey. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.